How long would it take a bad guy to get into your house? A couple of seconds, a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Have you reinforced the perimeter of your house so that if somebody wanted to get into your house and make you a victim or make your family a victim, are they going to be slowed down a little bit? When I was in law enforcement, one of, I wouldn't say the most favorite job, gosh, maybe it could be my most favorite job, but I was in community services. And that's the block watch guy, the neighborhood watch guy, and then it was also the home survey guy. I'm not sure if it's still a program there in that department anymore, but back when I was in law enforcement, you could call up, you could ask an officer to come out to your house, and that officer would walk your property outside and inside, if you chose, to give you some pointers on how to secure the perimeter of your house. Make it more difficult for the bad guys to get in. And I love that. One, for a change, the homeowner was happy to see you. That doesn't happen a lot in law enforcement. So that was always nice. They were grateful that you came out. And then they were really receptive. Most of them were very receptive because they were asking you to come out about what you had to say. So if you went up and say you're walking around the back of the house and you noticed that their rear door was vulnerable and you gave them some suggestions to actually secure it, they were taking notes. And I was writing on my little clipboard too to give over to them at the end of the evaluation. So they had a plan to fix the things that they needed to fix so that the bad guys couldn't get into their house as easily. Nothing that you do to your house is going to prevent someone who really wants to get in to get in. There just isn't. But the key, and I've mentioned it 1,000 times in other videos, the key is to slow them down enough so that you can implement your plan, whatever that might be, whatever you've come up with. Slow them down enough so that you can enact that plan, get everybody on board, and get someplace safe in the house. That's the key. So if they get in and you're in your safe spot, you know what? You're in a situation where you're confident that you can take care of the problem and wait for law enforcement to show up. So what are some of the things that you can do? I came across this product and I love it. And it's one of those products you kind of look at, especially after you install it and go, God, it's easy to install. It just looks like it's going to work. It's not one of those things like, well, I wonder if that lock is really as tough as they're telling me on this box or on YouTube. Because you just don't know. I mean, you're not going to kick the door in to test it. So you just wonder. Well, with this product, you don't have to wonder. You just kind of look at it and go, yeah, it's gonna work. It's gonna slow the bad guy down. And what I'm talking about is the Doorricade. I found this product online. I was looking around for a solution to slow bad guys down. I have a couple of doors at my house that I had some concerns about. And I thought, you know, what could I put there? And I found a bunch of different products, new products, stuff that I hadn't seen before. And I went, I don't know if that's gonna work. I don't know if this is gonna work. And then I came across Doorricade and I went, well, that has a high probability of working. And I hate installing stuff typically, but this product was super easy to install. And you just looking at it, you just know that this is gonna slow them down. If somebody wants to come through that door, they're really gonna have to work at it. Now, what does it consist of? Again, one of the things I love about it is that there's only really 3 pieces to it. You have the bracket on either side here. You have a bracket here, you have a bracket here, that this bar, solid aluminum bar, slips into. And they give you the 3-inch screws, and the whole idea is that these brackets screw into the 2x4 frame that goes around this doorway. Just like, I'm sure you've seen it where people say, hey, you know, change out all your screws on your strike plates on all your doors, all your hinges to 3-inch screws because you're trying to get into that surrounding 2x4 reinforcement. Well, the same thing goes here. So you screw these brackets into that 2x4, and then that's really it. I double checked it to make sure they were level. But I mean, it was super simple, super fast. I think it took me less than 10 minutes to do it. And when you're done, you have something on that door that you know is going to slow the bad guy down. Now, on this particular door, it's an inside door. It's not like, as we know, the inside doors are very different than the ones that are on the exterior of our house, or at least they should be. They're hollow. They're super hollow. So if this bar, I'm going to go to put it back in here real quick. It's super easy. This bar just slides in like that. If they kick a hole in this door, they give it a good wrap. Well, if this bar wasn't there, this lock is going to give, because rarely, unless you do it, rarely is there going to be a deadbolt, a 3-inch throw deadbolt on an interior door. You can drill a hole and you put one in there, but the door is so weak, it really is not going to accomplish anything. Whereas having this bar there, if they can beat on this thing all they want, and if you've changed out this hinge and this hinge with 3-inch screws there as well to give it a little bit more fortification, and even if you did down here on the strike plate, that door, they're going to have to really rip a hole in it and crawl through the hole in order to get into your house. And while they're doing that, you and your family have time to implement that plan that I keep lecturing about on this channel. So you're slowing them down, you're doing your thing, mission accomplished. So look for Doorricade. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I'll put the link to Doorricade in the description below. Awesome product, not super expensive. It comes in a bunch of different lengths. A lot of times front doors, if you needed one for your front door, if you want to reinforce that. Sometimes they're 36-inch wide. These are 32-inch usually on the interior. So they come in different lengths. And you can always, like in this case, I could have gotten the longer length and it really wouldn't have mattered. It just had a little extra on each side. But I wanted it to look nice when it was in. Looked like it was made for that door. So I went with the actual length here. But you can do whatever you want. So there it is. That's my little video for today. If you buy one of these and you install it, you're not going to regret it. You're going to love it. And your rear doors and your front door, change all the screws out and do everything like they say with the 3-inch. But if you feel like the front door might be a little bit camouflaged by some of the landscape in your front yard, which it shouldn't be. You should have a direct view from the street of your front door. So if somebody was passing by or your neighbors, they could see somebody messing with your front door. But if you got landscaping out there and the door is blocked and somebody could get there and fiddle with your front door for a while, it's nice to have that little extra backup in the Doorricade on that front door, because they do come usually through the front or they come through a rear door. That's what the stats say, and I saw it a lot when I was in law enforcement. That's where they would come through. Then windows. All right, well anyway, thank you for watching to the very end. Subscribe if you haven't. Really appreciate those that have subscribed. And until the next video, I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.